Thanks for playing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Perhaps I should come up with some new updates?
To see Dodoko going on adventures in all kinds of places. No, wait. You must have spent a long...
Aw, thank you for being so considerate. But if it helps keep you happy while you stay inside the city, I'll be more than... Of course, I understand. Anyway, I have some...
A gift? Actually, I have a gift for Miss Honorary Knight.
We'll get to the gifts in a moment. Let me tell you the news first. That's right. 2 knights. The knights have also determined the cause of their invasion. The species were accidentally introduced to the lake by a merchant without any malicious intent, so the knights let her go after some lecturing and issuing a fine.
Luckily, they didn't cause too much trouble, but even Paimon thinks that merchant was way too careless. Is it time for gifts yet? Can Klee go first?
Of course. Klee's been returning home on time every day without...
When I was home at night, I looked through Albedo's crafting book and learned to make this. Ta-da-da! Whoa! Yep! I made a figure that looks like the Dodoko from Dodoko's Bomb Task, even though I can't make it throw a real bomb. I hope it'll remind you of the fun we had together. And a big Dodoko toy! Oh, with this, it'll feel like we're adventuring with Klee and Dodoko wherever we go! I'm so happy. What's your gift, Lisa? I want to...
Well, I'm afraid my gift is a lot. It's a storybook about Dodoko's bomb. The little cuties returned to Mondstadt and joined Klee on an adventure. Together, they defeated a most fitting...
Did you plan out the whole story while designing the game?
No. As the protagonist, I've left a blank spot, but I just thought of an even better idea. Since we're all here on this special occasion, why don't I take a photo of you together?
Sure! We got to see our friends and play games together! Come on then, Miss Honorary Knight and Paimon. Ready, Lisa? Klee had so much fun today. 3, 2, 1, Dodoko!
Squall and Fury! Yeah! That's close enough! New punishment! You can't run! The wind rises! What unfortunate fault!
Time for a light show!
Behold!
Ah, Kaveh, it's you! It's been a while. What have you been up to recently?
Yeah, it's been a long time, Alkami. Things haven't changed.
I heard that you were the genius behind the Palace of Alcazazare.
Well?
Hard to make a profit. You've got to be joking. Unless the client fled before they paid the commission fee in I understand. Either way, doing one I mean, I obviously never had your reputation to live up to. Not exactly. Judging from the look on your face, you're still strapped for Mora. With that said, us Kasharawar grads should still look out for each other.
Are you serious? But something like that has got to be Besides, I don't want to just take something like that without offering anything.
Oh, you're too kind. This is just a simple tip. Compared to the classes taught by those old fossils at the Academia, my classes are more condensed. Unlike the Academia, I won't turn down anyone who's interested. It just so happens that I'm still looking for, regardless of the pay. I can already guarantee that it'll be far more
So you want me to join you as an instructor? That does sound like... What do you think, Traveler?
Then it's a deal?
Yes, it's a deal.
Like I said, there's no need to As for the pay, how about we start at...
300,000? Are you serious? How could you
It would seem that you're still oblivious to your own economic worth. 300,000 is also just the base rate. Just trust me on that. I have to go make some preparation.
I was never particularly close with Alkami when we were in school. Who would have... I've hosted free lectures before, but this would be my first time being hired to lecture for a formal business. 300,000? Thanks so much. Now, what should I talk about tomorrow? Some lessons I've learned over the past few years? All right, let's meet...
Quit following me. Too slow.
Oh.
I was up last night preparing for the lecture, but I ended up getting so excited that I couldn't fall asleep. Here,
Lesson plan? But the training center has already developed its own set of teaching materials. Instead of using your own plan... Sure. It's almost time for the lecture to start. Feel free to head...
Huh. So you've already developed your own set of teaching material. There's something else I want to ask, though.
No need to stress. There are 14 classes at my training center. Out of all of them...
20 people, huh?
Oh, and one last thing. In the interest of keeping a quiet learning space, I'm sorry to say this, but your friend will have to wait outside.
Sorry about that.
Did you hear? Really makes you...
That's true. But for those who can't pass the exam...
Man, to have...
Hey there. Can I help you? Oh, Alkami? You mean that rich guy who's been making quite the name for himself? Yeah, he commissioned a set of furniture from me a while back. I heard he earned a if the tuition wasn't sky high...
All class is over, so we can just chat for a bit. I shouldn't have lost my...
No, you weren't scary at all.
Oh, don't get me... Alkami may fool an amateur, but in my opinion, there are tens of thousands of buildings in the world, as well as a countless number of architectural styles. Some designs emphasize the architects who can critically evaluate all these students are doing. How can they expect to become real architects? When they're done with this class, all they'll become are dilettantes with a...
But Mr. Cave, we didn't really understand anything you said after you threw away the materials either. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like we're looking to make some work.
You're studying architecture to make...
Yeah. Why else would we be studying? My biggest dream is to become someone like Mr. Alkami. Once I finally make my fortune in architecture, I'll be able to buy anything I like.
Huh. In that case, I'm afraid you'll probably be disappointed. The reality is that the work of an architect is very difficult, and the pay...
But how? Mr. Alkami just told us. He also said that as long as we graduate from his class, it won't be long.
Come on.
But, Mr.
You... It's pointless trying to argue this with you right now. Let's go, Traveler. Let's hear about Alkami's true plan.
What's wrong, Kave? You look quite flustered. Were the students not astute enough for your liking? I must implore...
Yeah, I'm mad at them. But I'm even more... The students are all here hoping for a quick way to make money. But we both know that an architect's life is hard and exhausting. If your client is unhappy, you can't break ground. And the longer a project goes, the longer it takes for you to get paid in full. What's worse, if your client disappears in the middle of a project, good luck getting anything. You know all of this just as well.
Look, Kave, you may deny it all you want, but it's a fact that our clients care very little for the effort we pour into our designs. Why should we cling on to a profession that's difficult and unrewarding? If it's near impossible to make money as an architect, then why not?
Wait, how does that make any sense?
We are already stuck, my friend. The more people we can lead into this pit, that's right. Making money as an architect is a slow and agonizing process. None of the students will ever know, however. In their eyes, all of my income was earned during my years as an architect. The more students I get, the more money.
And then what? Once they graduate, when that happens, your facade will pop like...
But that's just one way to look at the problem. No, and also, I'm not even scared if they do come back and stir up trouble. My training center has all the required permits.
How can you sleep at night knowing that you're doing all this? I can't believe that I once saw you as a decent human.
And the same goes to you. How many years has it been since you graduated from the academia? Only fools will see art as revered and sacred. In the end, art, I urge you to think about what I've said. Offloading your as the light of the Ksharowa, you've accumulated plenty of fame and respect. Think it over, Kaveh.
I'm so mad, I feel a headache coming on. There's nothing... Of course. I'm sure you've realized that as long as I remained at this center, he would be able to use my name to advertise this. He is right about one thing, though. These kinds of training centers are everywhere. The most that they could accuse him of is false advertising. And even that would be hard to prove. Oh? Did you notice something else? Yeah, the rate he gave me was 300,000 mora per lecture. That probably came... If you're gambling everything on making it rich as an architect, are you really going to have the more... Right. We should hurry. The students didn't believe a word I was telling them. They're still daydreaming. We're never going to get any information from them again if we let Alkami talk to them first. Let's move now before he's had the chance to react.
Quit following me. The wind rises.
Oh, Mr. Kaveh? What are you doing back?
Class finished a while...
I wanted to stay for a little longer. I'm still thinking about everything you taught.
Of course they were. All the examples I drew were world-famous landmarks. Each one was the magnum opus of a celebrate... It's a good thing that you could recognize them for their beauty. The accumulation of knowledge is the first...
Resin?
Yes. When I first got into architecture, there were many things about it that I couldn't... And for most people, just being able to admire a building is enough. To become a good architect, going from admiration to assessment will take a lot of time and specialized knowledge.
Just as I thought.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to crush...
I understand. Thank you for telling me... Sorry. I can't say anything more.
Don't listen to him. I am the most famous architect in Sumeru. If he kicked...
Really?
Why would I pull your leg? I can see you have some talent, so as...
Then please keep this a secret for me. Mr. Alkami was the one who reached out to my parents. He told all the students that once we graduate, people would come flocking to commission us.
How much did you...
I think it was several million mora.
And what was the end...
I'm not really sure. My parents were the ones...
Yeah, I have a bad feel. We need to find that merchant to confirm. But if we were to confront him right... Good idea.
We last saw him on the north shore of Port Ormos.
Well, it'd still be worth taking a look. Architecture... No. The arts shouldn't... We need to do something...
Too slow. Squall and Fury! The wind rises.
Oh. I don't think I've ever...
You're Fahar, right?
Yes.
Alkami. My friend here wants to enroll in his architecture class, but they're a bit short on money. Alkami told us you're the man to go to in this kind of situation.
Oh, sounds like his business is booming.
Let me see. I'd say around 3 million mora.
Oof. You call that a bit short on money? Anyway, since you're here because of Alkami, I can work things... Here you go. Don't worry, there's nothing...
And what if they...
What do you mean, won't be able to pay it back? Once you graduate from Alkami's place, you'll be... And even if you were to run into some difficulties, it's hard work running a business. If we're taking risks to supply you with Mora, it's... Anyway, there's no point in tying yourself in knots over the contract. With the way you're reading every...
I just did some calculations in my head. When you say the interest will get a... Of course, the contract did a great job of trying to obfuscate that fact. It only listed the amount that you'll have to... If you actually do the math, however, it's clear that the amount you need to pay on interest alone will amount to hundreds of thousands of Mora per year. Most people can't even make that much Mora in a year. Even my creditor doesn't dare to raise rates that high. Once a family's signed on to a scheme like this, there's no getting out.
What are you trying to say, huh? I figured something was off when two well-dressed... Too many people are sticking their noses where they don't belong,
Eremites? I've already fought off more than my fair share. There are only a few of them, so they shouldn't pose much of a threat. That's close enough. Following orders.
Feeling lucky today? Solidified!
Sight clear. Take that! No
Squalling Fury! Unsightly insects!
La, 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 la.
You won this one.
Who are you and what do you want? I don't think we've done anything to hurt...
Debt has the power to upend your whole life. But my debts are the culmination of many different factors, and my interest rate is still somewhat reasonable. As long as I continue to work with my... But these students are different. They have neither the mental preparation... You sold the dreams of becoming an architect to the students as bait, urging them to take on insurmountable amounts...
Ha! Everyone knows there's no such thing. And if we're going to talk about greed, aren't those students the ones who are blinded?
Ha! And here comes the silver tongue. Surely you use that to People grow by learning from their mistakes. I hope this will be a... Let's head back to the academia and turn this guy over to the Matra. They should be able to link him with Alkami's business. Sino? Didn't think I would run into you here.
My vacation just ended not too long ago, so I'm going over some cases at the academia. Who's this? I see. Charging an interest rate over 30% indeed constitutes a crime. As it is highly likely that Alkami is also benefiting from this scheme, the Matra will open an investigation on him as well. The training center will be closed until further notice.
Such a thing.